When Calls the Heart Season 11 Episode 6 Review, Believe. Usually, it's exciting when an old character returns, but Thomas Higgins only brought back uncomfortable feelings. On When Calls the Heart, Season 11 Episode 6, Thomas Higgins returned, only this time he was portrayed by James Cott as the head of the Valley District School Board. He still had one goal: to make Elizabeth Thornton's life miserable. Thomas. Good morning, Mrs. Thornton. Thomas Higgins. Elizabeth. I could hardly forget. What are you doing here? Thomas Higgins was a classic sexual harasser. He knew he held the power, especially since he wanted to change some testing standards, and Elizabeth hated adhering to those standards. She always wanted to teach with her own methods, partly because she fought so hard to teach Angela in a regular classroom. Now, she uses other methods to assist Toby with learning math. Higgins refused to even discuss those changes with her unless she joined him for dinner, which made Elizabeth feel uncomfortable and reminded her how he harassed her and got her fired as a younger teacher. Thomas. How about dinner tonight? Elizabeth. I don't think that would be appropriate, Mr. Higgins. We can discuss any of this right here. Thomas. Appropriate? I would have thought you'd put your students' interests ahead of an old grudge. Higgins succeeded at first because he confused Elizabeth. She thought he propositioned her, but he was so talented at his games that she doubted herself and wasn't willing to risk her school. This is what he does. He makes you doubt yourself that you're not sure what actually happened. Apparently, Higgins only cared about control. He didn't care if the students failed or were pushed back to remedial classes, which is the worst attitude to have in education management. Then, he turned on the charm, implying that if Elizabeth dated him, he would change things for her. Anna walked in near the end, thinking he was a benevolent benefactor who could help her career, but she didn't see the snake he really was. Elizabeth. Leave Anna alone. Thomas. Who do you think you are, saying such reckless and unfounded accusations? Elizabeth. They aren't unfounded. Elizabeth wanted to protect Anna from what happened to her, but Higgins made Elizabeth sound like a lunatic and threatened her job, Jack's legacy, and the school's name. I was relieved when Nathan found her upset, and she fell apart in his arms and told him everything. I don't think Elizabeth needed a man to rescue her, but she needed someone to remind her that she was strong enough to confront this loser. Elizabeth. I can't prove anything. He makes sure of that. He has all the power. Nathan. He doesn't. That's what he wants you to think, Elizabeth. Don't let him. You know how strong you are. I've never known you to run from a challenge. Elizabeth needed to feel that someone else had confidence in her to put an effective plan into motion. That sting was compelling and amusing. As soon as Elizabeth got Higgins to her schoolhouse, I knew it was a trap, and Higgins walked right into it. Elizabeth. Because I wasn't nice. You tried to get me fired. Thomas. And you're going to let your students suffer because you refuse to learn your place? Elizabeth. My place is certainly not at the dinner table with you. Higgins thought that they would believe him because he arranged a meeting with Lucas and Edwin, but Lucas firmly believed Elizabeth and told him to leave town. I knew the town would back Elizabeth up. Crises often bring couples together, and there were such sweet moments for Nathan and Elizabeth as he supported her, but let's hope for happier times ahead. Elizabeth. Thank you for being there. Thank you for being here. Nathan. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Anna's return was short-lived, and it seemed like her return was more to move Elizabeth's storyline further along than to give Anna her own arc. While Elizabeth's storyline was essential, so was furthering a young teacher's career. It's the essence of show us, don't just tell us. Show us scenes of Anna teaching the students or getting guidance from Elizabeth on mentoring other students. It would have been beneficial for this arc if Elizabeth heard what Thomas Higgins said to Anna. This storyline was good, but it could have been even better. The writers teased at least one couple would marry by the end of When Calls the Heart Season 11. The best candidates are Nathan and Elizabeth or Mike and May. Nathan and Elizabeth have only made their intentions clear. While they've known each other for a while, they need to get used to this next phase of their relationship. Mike and May have dated for 6 months, have standing breakfast dates, and are learning about each other's families. While Mike complained about his sister, May loved hearing embarrassing childhood stories and wished she could take him home to her family. May, my mother was the most amazing cook. I would have loved to bring you home for dinner. Mike, and then she could have told embarrassing stories of you as a kid. These two were adorable as May agreed to cook him her mom's favorite dish, even though she was afraid it wouldn't be as good. She was just grateful she had someone to share it with. Mike and May seem blessed with many romantic and cute scenes lately, making investing in their happiness easier. They both help the town often since others helped them prepare for their romantic night and left them alone. Those Chinese lanterns, romantic bouquets, and chilled champagne set the ambience. I almost thought Mike would propose as he started talking about being part of her entire life. Mike, May, I want to be a part of your life, your whole life. May, I want that too. Mike, it seemed like the perfect setup, but their relationship needed more time to blossom before Mike took that plunge. We finally saw more of Lee and Rosemary as she enjoyed being a political wife. Rosemary fits the role beautifully because she knows everything is happening in Hope Valley, and like Lee, she wants to improve their small town. She was so amusing as she tried to dress him for the part because Rosemary knew fashion so well, but we haven't seen her in the industry in so long that sometimes everyone forgets that. While the Coulters initially attempted an intimate gathering of Hope Valley's leaders, they realized the importance of everyone sharing their ideas with the new mayor. They work so well as a team when they put each other first. It has been refreshing to see more of Rosemary's intelligence and eagerness put to good use. At the same time, she's often in everyone's business, which can usually come in handy. Over to you, Hardys. Were you pleased to see the 3 prominent couples front and center in this episode? Are you disappointed to see Anna leave so soon and are hoping she'll return soon? We'd love to hear your opinions, so please share them below. Thanks for watching these videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more update news.